Wow, what are you doing here? As we were invited by the newlyweds Bertie and his wife for a housewarming, Ashley said that upon opening the entrance door. Bertie and his spouse had decided to build a house thinking of the future. We, as close to Bertie and his chosen partner, contributed to the down payment as a token of support. Ashley knew about the down payment and that we were invited today. Yet, this was her attitude. To our astonishment, Ashley smirked rudely and said, "Well, if you insist on entering." My name is Susanna, a 46-year-old housewife. I live with my 50-year-old husband Edwards and our 25-year-old son Bertie. It's our 26th year of marriage and we still celebrate anniversaries maintaining a good relationship. Edwards and Bertie work in the same company in the automobile industry known as a major corporation. Once Bertie bought home a lovely young man he wanted us to meet. Her name is Ashley, a 23-year-old junior from Bertie's university, and apparently they are planning to marry. We had been worried about Bertie's lack of romantic interest, so despite feeling it was a bit early, we were happy and blessed their union, and soon after Ashley joined our household of four. We tried to be proactive and assist wherever possible to foster a good relationship, and I believe we had managed to build a good one. Considering the care of Edward's parents, we lived in a rented detached house near the in-laws' house. After Bertie's marriage, the four of us continued living there, but frankly, it was cramped as it wasn't designed for two families. Perhaps that's why Bertie and his wife started discussing building their home for the future. After discussions, we decided to help our only son and his new family with the encouraging step of setting up their household. We couldn't give them a house like in dramas, but we wanted to contribute to the house purchase fund, so we provided a sum for the down payment. Initially, Bertie refused, but with our persistence and Ashley's agreement, he accepted our contribution. Ashley was very enthusiastic about designing and planning the house, always seeming happy and in good spirits during the meetings. Then, a few months later, the house Bertie and his wife purchased was finally complete. Apparently, thanks to numerous meetings, the house was finished with all of Ashley's preferences in mind. Bertie invited us saying, "We have built a really nice house and we would love for you to come and see it." So Edwards and I headed to the new house. Just before arriving, Bertie messaged, "I'm out to buy a cake since we forgot one. Ashley's there, so please go in first." I laughed and shook my head at his usual forgetfulness, but agreed nonetheless. Upon arrival, the gate and the garden alone made it obvious a lot of thought and effort had been put into the house. Even to an amateur's eyes, it seemed like a well-designed and impressive home. When I rang the doorbell, Ashley came out. From the doorway, I could see vases and a living room sofa that were from well-known high-end furniture brands. Even though Bertie works for a good company around here, I couldn't help but worry if they were stretching their budget too much. Ashley opened the door, but she didn't seem welcoming at all. Looking down at us with a creepy smile, she seemed like a completely different person from when we lived together. And it wasn't just her expression that had changed. "Wow, what are you here for?" In front of our stunned silence, Ashley sighed and laughed mockingly. When I meekly replied that we were invited, she snorted in displeasure. "If you want to enter so badly, there is an entrance fee of $300? She said, repeating the words entrance fee. Ashley smirked vilely. "Don't you understand? If you want to come into the house, you need to pay. After all, to me, you're just unrelated outsiders. I'm not letting you in for free." Edwards and I exchanged glances, and Ashley let out a vulgar laugh I had never heard before. Then, with an angry glare, she spat out, "Don't act so high and mighty just because you contributed to the down payment. This is our house, you know. I really hate it when outsiders interfere." Ashley's rant left both me and Edward speechless. The most shocking thing was being called an outsider by Ashley. Above all, it was a shock to be declared a stranger by Ashley, whom we had lived with for a while and thought of as family. Despite Bertie's initial refusal, she was the one more eager to accept our generous contribution to the down payment. The amount we contributed was neither too much nor too little. After spending the money, we don't recall ever meddling in Bertie's house. We just listened with smiles to Ashley as she passionately discussed her house preferences. Never were we overbearing. Are you going to pay or not? I'm busy, so hurry up. Oh, we won't pay. Tell Bertie we left. I replied, shocked and barely able to think straight, even though Ashley had always said, let us properly thank you once the house is complete. We weren't expecting gratitude for our contribution, but we're looking forward to the invitation. However, Ashley's attitude as if we were now disposable filled us with growing anger. As we turned to leave, Ashley slammed the door behind us with a click of her tongue. After sending Bertie a message explaining what happened, it wasn't long before he arrived at our house with Ashley in tow. Bertie apologized profusely as soon as the door opened, while Ashley, seemingly brought against her will, stood with crossed arms and a sullen look. Wait, don't come in. Here, Ashley, it's hastily made, so forgive its roughness. I stopped Bertie and Ashley from entering our home. Then I presented a piece of paper which Ashley read with a puzzled look. A contract? Yes, if you insist on charging outsiders an entrance fee, we don't want such a stranger in our home either. We'll waive the past entrance fees during your stay with us, so will you sign this? Ashley took the pen I offered, chuckling as she signed the handwritten contract. Do you think this bothers me? I'm rather thankful. I won't be paying any entrance fee, so I'll have nothing to do with you all. Bertie held his forehead and looked down as Ashley signed without hesitation. After she lifted high spirits, Bertie continued apologizing. Your apologies don't solve anything. Every couple is different, and while I don't want to meddle, Ashley's behavior and your inability to stop it is a problem. Edward's words seemed to hit hard, and after that day, Bertie rarely came home. We stayed in touch via phone, never fully cutting him off. However, we had no contact with Ashley, and a year swiftly passed. A year after becoming estranged, the doorbell rang. Yes, I answered, opening the door to find Ashley, whom I hadn't seen in a long time. I didn't agree to this. What's the meaning of this? She exclaimed, breathing heavily as if she had hurried over. I want this house. Let's swap homes. As it turns out, we had recently moved. Soon after, we became estranged from Bertie and his wife. A friend of ours, a successful entrepreneur who owned several businesses and properties, including vacation homes, approached us to buy their house. They were looking to downsize their assets considering their age. The house, stylish and reflecting our friend's taste, was hard to sell due to its uniqueness. Despite their other properties selling off, it was this house difficult to let go due to its location and distinctiveness. They implored us to buy at a bargain. Once we desired a detached home but had to give up due to land issues and the fact that Edwards, being the eldest son, would eventually need to care for his parents-in-law. So, we had been renting a home near the in-laws until now. However, the situation changed drastically. With Bertie married and out of the house, Edward's siblings agreed to take care of the in-laws. The resolution of the in-laws' care felt like a huge burden lifted from my shoulders. The friend's vacation home we were asked to purchase isn't too far from the in-laws. We were familiar with the area, and neighbors due to our long friendship and their distinct taste in the home's design didn't bother us, so we decided to buy it. We immediately sent our consent to the friend. The friend was delighted as they had struggled to find a buyer, offering us the entire household contents, suggesting we could sell anything that didn't suit our taste to fund new purchases. All the furnishings were from a high-end brand that our friend adored. From sofas to small dishware, it was a complete collection from the brand. Though known for its high cost, a little research showed that the items still fetched a considerable price. We sorted through what we needed and what we didn't, selling some to supplement the home buying funds, and brought in our previous belongings. The move was swift, thanks to not only our friends but also Edward's siblings. The new home, full of unique features, filled us with excitement. We casually informed Bertie about the move, but didn't give out our new address and specifically mentioned not to tell Ashley. However, it seems she learned of it from neighborhood gossip and looked up the house herself. As it turned out, the furnishings left by our friend were from the same brand Ashley adored. Wary of this, we hadn't even given Bertie the new address, yet Ashley found it on her own. I had no idea you were moving to such a luxurious house. Those are my favorite brand of furnishings. It's not fair. Swap your house with the one we built. It will surely be better for you, she demanded, making disjointed requests. Expecting demands for the furniture, we were taken aback by her asking to swap houses. Ignoring my bewilderment, Ashley tried to forcefully enter the house. In a rush, I presented the contract she had signed earlier. If you step 1 foot further, you will have to pay. That was the agreement, I demanded, charging an entrance fee as she had done to us. Ashley was furious when she realized the hastily signed contract was now binding her. Just as she had demanded entrance fees from us, I refused her entry until she paid, causing her anger to erupt. She kicked the entrance door and attempted to force her way in, shouting loudly, attracting the neighbors' attention. Amidst the commotion, Bertie arrived running at full speed. "Calm down, Ashley. Maybe a scene won't help. Let's go back home." While restrained by Bertie, an agitated Ashley yelled and hurled insults at me. She glared at Bertie, childishly accusing him of deceit. "You say it too. I married you to live a work-free life surrounded by my favorite brands, not to have in-laws living better than us. If I knew I would be this miserable, I wouldn't have married you." Ashley revealed these unbelievable thoughts in her tirade. As we were about to intervene, shocked by her harsh words, Bertie gripped her shoulder. His usually mild demeanor was gone, replaced by a stern resolve. "I've been thinking maybe I shouldn't have married you either. We need to talk." He dragged the still flailing Ashley back home. Confused by Bertie's uncharacteristic firmness, she was pulled away. I wondered if they would divorce and soon thought it might be for the best. While I wouldn't comment on their marriage, Ashley's rant revealed her shallow intentions. Bertie called later to apologize and within 2 months informed us they were divorcing. It seemed Ashley only valued Bertie for his income, boasting about her influence in their home designs and enduring it as a favor. Despite contemplating immediate divorce, Bertie faced the reality of their new home's mortgage. Bertie, insisting Ashley find employment, worked overtime, desperately trying to save up for the divorce. However, Ashley showed no signs of job hunting, instead withdrawing money from Bertie's savings for her shopping. When confronted, she claimed to have earned the money, showing some cash. Again, when confronted, she claimed to have earned the money by charging friends an entrance fee to their home, which they paid, mistaking it for a just or housewarming gift. After repeated demands for entry fees, friends distanced themselves, leaving the house guestless. Ashley then audaciously set up a tall booth outside, demanding passers-by pay to use the road. The police were called after neighborhood complaints, leading to a massive argument between Bertie and Ashley, where she continued to blame everyone else for the situation. Finally, Bertie decided to divorce, deeming further discussion with Ashley futile, and reached out to her parents to explain the situation and his intention to divorce. Ashley's parents were reasonable and understanding individuals. "We are deeply sorry for our daughter's inexcusable behavior." They apologized repeatedly and promptly arranged a meeting to discuss the situation. Ashley initially lashed out at Bertie upon her parents' unexpected visit, but was quickly subdued and reprimanded by them. When the topic of divorce was brought, Ashley became hysterical but was restrained by her father. Her parents agreed to take on the responsibility for the settlement, debts, and the sorting out of the new house. Ashley, still furious, was forcibly taken home by her father. "I thought it would be embarrassing to rely on my wife's parents, but if I knew things would settle so quickly, I would have asked them sooner." Bertie looked exhausted as he spoke. I gently patted his back, acknowledging all the hardships he had endured. Several years have passed since Bertie's divorce from Ashley. Ashley is now living a far cry from her dream life, working part-time at a supermarket checkout and other back-end jobs she once looked down upon. Trying to pay off the debt her parents took on for her, she conveyed to Bertie, "I would like you to repay a part of the debt." She seemed to plead tearfully, sharing her own hardships alongside her request. But he firmly told her that she must work hard and paid for herself, as it was her own doing. Despite the ongoing challenges, including dealing with a persistent Ashley and even contacting the police, Bertie is now happy. In fact, a female colleague supported him throughout the ordeal of handling Ashley's stalking and his own distrust of women. Though it took time, Bertie became optimistic about marriage again and has since remarried the supportive colleague. They now live in a small apartment, saving up for a new home. We are relieved to see Bertie finally regaining his smile.